Hi there. My name is Michelle, and I just spoke at the Scott County Board meeting. And I know that there were a few people that wanted to be present that weren't able to. And then there were also a few very nice people that came up to me afterwards and appreciated what they heard. So I thought that maybe what I had to say would benefit more than the 40 some people were in the room. So I'm going to try to make it through without getting all teary eyed like I did earlier. But it's hard because this is so near and dear to my heart. I have two school age children, one at Eastern Elementary and one at Rural Spring Middle School. My daughter, who attends Eastern Elementary, has dyslexia. She's receiving IEP services as a child with specific learning disabilities. The teachers and staff at Eastern have been wonderful, and we work together to get very appropriate, specially designed instruction in place. Since beginning intervention, she's made wonderful progress, and that's the good news. Here's the bad news. She was missed as a child who would benefit from early intervention under RTI as it was intended to be provided in kindergarten and first grade. She should have started receiving reading support much earlier, and so should so many other children in our district. Scott County currently uses MAP scores to determine which children need extra help with reading, and this is a big problem for two reasons. In first grade, MAP scores are read to the child. This means it's only an assessment of their listening comprehension, not their phonetic decoding skills. By definition, listening comprehension is intact for children with dyslexia, so this is not an appropriate screener for them. Amelia was in the 70th percentile in MAP scores in first grade, but when she actually had to read the text, she fell to the 6th and then the 1st percentile. The second reason MAP scores are not appropriate is that the state education agency for dyslexia legislation says that screening for dyslexia is required. And MAP testing like we use is not an appropriate dyslexia screener. All K through 2 students should be screened for phonological and phonemic awareness deficits, which is the primary area of impairment in children with dyslexia. Scott County needs to adopt this law into our school system. Furthermore, teachers need more education on dyslexia and the school's involvement in this disability. You see, not only am I a parent of a child with dyslexia, but it's also become an area of professional interest. I talk to parents from all over the country and the state who are frustrated because they're asking the school for help and they're being given incorrect information. I remember expressing concern regarding Amelia's reading when she was in first grade, and I was told she's fine. Her MAP scores are fine. In second grade, when her MAP scores plummeted because she couldn't phonetically decode the words on the page, I was told it's a vocabulary issue. It's an attention issue. I was told everything except what the problem actually was. She couldn't read. By the time Amelia qualified for IEP services, the school psychologist said in our meeting, "It's heartbreaking." She said, "Amelia is a completely different student when any print is involved." And this is a point that we did agree on. I told you I would make it. It was heartbreaking to watch her struggle with reading and writing and wondering why I had to work so hard as a parent to get appropriate supports in place. It's also heartbreaking that I've heard this story from so many other parents in the district as they tell their own journey of getting their child help with reading in Scott County. Children with dyslexia need structured literacy to learn to read. Unfortunately, so many of our schools are still using whole language or balanced literacy to approach reading instruction for tiers 1 through 3. This method of teaching reading does not align with the most current research within the science of reading community. Additionally, not only is whole language and balanced literacy not beneficial for a child with dyslexia, it's been shown to be detrimental to their learning process. I am still working to undo the poor reading strategies my daughter was taught during Tier 1 instruction using balanced literacy. Transitioning to a structured literacy curriculum would benefit all children, not just those with dyslexia. Some schools are beginning to recognize this and they're making small changes, but we need to do so much more. Please don't misunderstand me. I love teachers. They're some of the most caring and selfless people I've ever met. And I'm blessed that Amelia's teachers have always been open to learning more about dyslexia and how to best meet her needs. Teachers are not failing students with dyslexia. The system is failing them. Teachers need administrative support to know what the laws actually say regarding dyslexia in the school system. They need to know the early signs of dyslexia and what to look for in their students. They need to know how to provide correct information to parents who are worried about their child's reading. They need time and materials to perform dyslexia screenings in kindergarten through second grade classrooms. And they need support from their administration to do this. I'm willing to bet that almost every school in the county and probably the state has a goal to improve reading scores. And this is how you do it. You adopt the laws that are already in place. You find the children that need support early. You provide solid research-based RTI services early when it's the most beneficial. And you wholeheartedly support your teachers in serving the 1 in 5 children in their classroom who need extra support learning to read because they have dyslexia. Reading and writing are essential skills needed to access all curriculum areas. This isn't something that needs to be put on the back burner. It's something that needs attention now because our children want to read. They just need to be taught in a way that helps them learn. So I knew I wouldn't get through that, but it's interesting that I can talk to parents about their other kids and I don't get teary-eyed, but when it's your own kid, it's hard. So I hope that that's beneficial for you. If you agree with anything that I have said, please share this, because the more people that have this information and the more that it gets out, the more likely it is that we're going to be able to make changes for the children in our districts.